All right, ladies, we're back. Sorry about the intermission. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and powdered my entire face, which again, that's to help blend everything and to set the highlight that we have because the highlight is a cream. So what I'm doing is I've gone and taken my lining pencil and I'm going a straight line up to the top of my arch, and I'm doing the same thing at the top of my brow. Now, of course, I'm going with my brow. You'll go with yours. And it's not going to be large like mine is. I can guarantee you. So we're going to do just like that. Do you see that? So I've just slightly overdrawn. Now at the bottom, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that back into a point and meeting it at the bottom of my brow. And so the top, it's going to reflect that as well. And the two come together. And then we're going to go ahead and fill that brow in. Now you'll notice by overdrawing it a lot, if you make this more at an angle, you're making yourself look a little more evil, so we're not trying to do that. Try to keep your brow slightly more on kilter. You just want to kind of fill in through that. It's okay to have a few more sparse ones right in the front. That kind of helps the brow look more naturally well groomed and tamed. And then we're going to replicate that on the other side. So straight line across to the top of the arch. And you'll have to pardon my bushy brows, ladies. It's not going to be your case. Parallel line at the top. And drawing in bottom on both. Boom, connecting and fill. So check both eyebrows, make sure it's even. Okay. Now, we're going to grab our highlight again. And with the highlight, we're just going to go help clean that up. Right underneath in there, we're going around the whole edge of that brow. Top and bottom. And this is just going to help us have a really, really clean brow, ladies. Because that's one of the big features of this makeup. Keep it beautiful and very clean. I realize it's hard to imagine it really beautiful when it's a large eyebrow like mine. But like I mentioned, hers is going to be much more dainty. Mine's bordering a little more on evil. But hey, Maleficent was a beautiful woman too, right? Okay, so I've got the top, or the bottom, and now I'm just going to clean right across the top. This, of course, also helps if you had a little accidental feathering to your application. And then just blend that edge into nothing. Keeping the hard edge against the eyebrow. In this case, we are actually using a hard edge against the eyebrow, and the edge that's away from it is going to be soft. Soft, 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 soft into nothing. Okay. We are almost done this look, ladies. This goes fairly quickly. The next thing we're going to do is the liner. So I'm just sharpening up my pencil, and I'm going just inside the iris. and drawing straight across, following the line, in fact, continuing that line up to the top lid, and so it follows that same arch. Do you see that? And we're going to try to get it as well to kind of match with the corner of our brow. So it's going to stop right in there. And then the top line gets, you're going to go, there's the corner of the eye. I want to go in just a little bit from there. See? Now that's the line that's going from the corner, from the where I want it to the corner. And then from there I'm going to trace straight across. Now you may have to, as I do, pull your lid so that you can get your liner in there. Now it's thicker in the middle, the liner, in this design, as it was in the 50s. And then it's very thin on the outside, and then it tapers a little bit towards the edge, so and into a full taper at the wing. Voila. And there we have it. So that's that aligned eye. And then I'm going to sharpen that again because I want to have my point onto my pencil. And then I'm going to go on the other side. So I'm going in just a little in past the iris on the lower lash line. And I'm going all the way to the corner, following that curve, and extending it out to make that point in the wing. Okay, and then the top, I'm going in past the corner, getting that line in there, because what this does, ladies, is that this helps make our entire eye look larger, that little line in there. And so it helps us read from a greater distance. It also adds a lot of youth to the eye, because a larger eye always reads as more youthful. So I've got my line traced in there, continuing that across, and that's sitting right across on your lashes. Okay, and then of course it broadens towards the middle. And we're cleaning up that line. There you go. And then you want to double check that they're even. I got a little more emphasis on that other one. I'm just going to punch this one up a very little bit. Boom. Now, there's a little bit of color into the eye. So you're going to use yourself. This kind of brush works really well. It's an angled brush. It has a nice tip on it, and it'll do a job very nicely for us. Or you can also use something like this, which is an eyeshadow brush. It's a little large, but it's not some of the largest ones that there are out there. What we're going to do is we're going to put color in the crease and just above this liner. Because the idea again with this makeup is that the lid is really bright, and we just want to add a little color in there just to give it a little brightness and some shape. So I'm going to dip into one of the colors that we're using for shadow. I'm going to get first off just above in here. Now this looks perhaps like a very vibrant and shocking color at first, but we have to remember that we're projecting at a distance. So from a distance, this is going to look very natural and like there isn't very much on that lid at all. It's gonna probably look just very nicely vasculated, like those ladies that look like they've never had to paint their face ever. Okay. Now the other place we're putting it is in the crease. Now, if you have a nice eye that you can see the whole crease, when your lid opens, then just go ahead and paint it in from your crease. Again, just past, at this point, the iris. We're not going directly into the corner, so we're going to start off in a point, and then we're tracing so that it's going to create the shape of the lid. And it's going to connect to the outside corner of that wing. Do you see that? So it connects, the tip connects to the outside corner of the wing, and it's traced so that it's right on the crease. Now, you'll notice that I've had to cheat it a little bit because I have a deep crease. My crease is actually sitting, when I open my eye, it's hidden. If this is the problem for you, here's how you correct that. So we're going to start just past the pupil, where the color is, or the iris, sorry, where the color is. And we're drawing it with the eye open, seeing where that color is going to be applied. So you see. It takes a little bit more time, ladies, but the effect is going to give you what you desire. So you see, I've created a crease in there. I've gotten a little color in there. The lid is still nice and bright. And in fact, if you want, you could go in at this point and add a little bit more in between there, just to help that really read properly onto the lid. See that little bit of extra brightness in there? And then of course you'll go and take your powder brush and add that in there. Okay, so that adds just a little bit of color in there, and that's the flavor that we've got. Then we add the cheek color, so we take your blush brush, and just going over top the edge of that contour on both sides. It's just giving it a little bit of kind of like blood to the cheeks in there. We're not going for a very painted cheek. We're going for a shapely cheek, but we're not going for a colored cheek because the emphasis is here, here, and it's going to be on the lip. Okay? So that's our next one. So you see, there's just a little pigment in there. We're not going for really, really bright. Even though it's stage, we are putting some so that it's going to read to the audience like there is some life in that cheek, but we're not reading like it's a colored cheek. That's a very important distinction. Now we're moving into the lip. We're not using a lip pencil. We're just straight up using a lipstick. So the color I've got here for you is, well, we're working with either Maryland red or Russian red are the colors that we've got. If you purchased your own kit, it's going to be the Maryland red, so that it's a Ben & I product. So you're going to do the V in your lip. And we're going for a full rounded look. We're not going into angles onto the lip, right? So the curve is very nice and soft and round. And then you fill it in. So that's our top lip. And then the bottom lip. I like to usually start at the bottom And then I'm going to work to the corners, connecting those. And then fill in. Now, if you find too that when you wear lipstick, it tends to wear off, one thing you can do is you can take a piece of 2-ply Kleenex, separate the 2 plies, apply 1/2 on your face, and go over it with your translucent powder. It will act as enough of a barrier to not just have this dry matte lip that'll have no moisture, but that little bit of powder that does sift through, it's the finer stuff that really gets in there, and that will help keep that in place for you. So here we have it. We've got the women's chorus makeup. Emphasis on the brow, emphasis on the liner with a wing, with just a splash of color connecting to it, a nice bright lid, a clean complexion, and a beautiful bright lip that's well shaped. And that is your face for gondoliers. Thank you, ladies.